Garrett and Coral here for you to talk a little bit about the steel mace. So what we've got here is the 7-pound steel mace, and here is the 10-pound steel mace. I really like the 10-pound because it's kind of the standard weight and length. However, a 7-pound steel mace is like $30 on Amazon, and is a really good tool. And we'll take you through some of the basic positions and how it kind of, you know, strictly goes over to multi-sport, right? We talked about doing some of this kind of cool stuff and doing the halos and doing this, but you know, you gotta have good shoulders before you do that, right? You gotta have stability before you do those things. So I wanna just talk about how this mace will help you out. First things first, let's come down here and come kneeling. The big advantage of this sucker is because the weight is offset, right? So that load makes it heavy on that one side. So first things first, Miss Coral, I want you just to grab both hands over, okay? And I just want you to do 5 presses right here. Press it all the way up and over your head. So even just this, something simple, is can she brace through the glutes? Can she keep her rib cage down? Can her elbows get in line with the ears, right? This is probably the reason why I wouldn't go straight into a halo or some of that other stuff out of the gate. Also, we're just warming up, right? So before I'm gonna ask her shoulders to do so much or get into these like little specialized patterns, can we get some of the big patterns just groove, right? And that's warming up the core, it's lengthening out the shoulders, all of that great stuff. Cool. Once you got your 5 over there, I want you to grab relatively close to the top, right? And you're gonna get your elbow so that it's right here in line. And now I want you to bring this overhead, right? So when it comes to multi-sport, my first thing I look at with most people is, how is that overhead flexibility? And I'm kind of impressed with Coral's overhead flexibility right here, right? Elbows getting in line with the ear, lengthens out that lat, and then she's coming back down, and you can get into that position where it's just nice and set. So what I like about that is that load is pulling it down, which is allowing it to kind of strengthen and to stretch all at the same time. And you know, this is what I use to warm up a lot of times. Is it 5? Is it 8? Is it 10? I just like waking up my shoulders with the core. So same game on the other side.
That's my cheat.
I like this shirt. Is this like Monstera leaves?
Yes.
Like, did you wear that for me?
Maybe.
Aw, so sweet. Okay, good. So I really like this tool to warm up and groove the shoulders. So even this morning, right, I did the swim run the other day on Saturday, and I was hot shit, and I went out there and I went as fast and as hard as I could, and I haven't been swimming very much. I felt like I was a football player this morning, and I was wearing shoulder pads. So what did I do? I got out the mace and I did a few of these drills, and I just rotated, lengthened my torso about, got my shoulders back. Next one, we're gonna come back to the same position, right? So this is what we call kind of the, God, I forgot the name of the position, so never mind. Okay, so from here, it's the position. It's the position. From here, you're gonna externally rotate, so come out, right? And what's great here is, can you set those shoulders? Now come back and go the other way. Can she dial it in every time? Same idea, big chest, pulling back, abs braced, glutes braced. And Coral's making that look easy. That is not as easy as it looks. Also, if you slid down on that mace a little bit, Coral, what happens if you go lower and lower on the mace? Right, so it's
a little harder.
It's physics, right? So the longer lever arm that you have, the harder it's gonna be. Again, that's what I like. You can scale it.
So if I choke up, it's a lot
now
easier
it's easier, right? That's manageable, okay? And then as you come lower. Okay, cool. We're gonna get you all the way on your back though.
Okay.
Now this is the magic sauce. You guys hear me talk a lot about getting your lats, abs, and glutes on one page. We're gonna grab both hands on end. And if I was trying to pull this away from you right now, I want her to pull that sucker apart and make sure those shoulders are away from your ears. So now that you got this here, bring your legs over here. Good. Now go back the other way. So it's our windshield wiper, but because you got the offset load, this will really wring you out your shoulders from your hips. So one of my other favorite things is, can you disassociate from your shoulders and hips? This will help your torso, your ability to fire those lats. This will help you with swimming tremendously. Go. We're just looking for about 5 on each side. This is also another exercise if my back feels wonky, that I kind of start here. That shirt really is freaking cool.
Bell's Outlet special.
Bell's Outlet for the win. Okay, so we're just doing 5 to each side. You got one more to your right. I'll help you turn around and flip it back the other way. Good. Stay there, stay there, stay there. You don't have to do anything, Miss Coral. Good. Back the other way. And what's funny in this is you can actually counterbalance, right? So she's gluing her right shoulder into the ground there. Now come back over. And now she's going to focus on kind of keeping that left shoulder down the best that she can. Again, easier said than done. And I talk about this a lot in these videos, but this is something that could be a warm-up. It could be a cool-down. This could be its own workout. It's any of those things, really. The Mace is my go-to kind of for a warm-up or when I need that recovery workout and I want to kind of gain some mobilization. I'll take that from you. Okay. We're going to come back. We're going to come kneeling again. Okay, so now kneeling, this is the one we do a lot of times, is the hip hop hooray. So you're going to press this guy up and over. So she's got her left leg in front and the globe is on the right hand side. She's going to start out, come back to rack position real quick, because I want to emphasize the idea of rip and crush. So if you're trying to pull these handles the different ways and you keep those elbows in, look what that does to her shoulders. Most swimmers are stuck here, right? So then we don't have that posture. Just doing that and pulling that apart can give you some benefit. Good, I like that you loosened up the neck. Press that guy up and over your head. Again, she's got this big overhead flexibility. Now raise that right side, bump your hip to the right. Now go back to the other side and go to the left. Bump that hip towards me. Good. Awesome. So for Coral, just kind of getting back into the game, we don't want to like overly challenge her core, but can we wake up some of these patterns? Can we start syncing things together for you? Oh man, you got some sweet turf on your back. That looks great. Good thing the Bell's factory outlet shirt didn't cost you too much there. Good. One more to each side. Really bump that way. And then when you get over here, hold this one for me and find your breath. Okay? Breathe. Keep ripping and crushing. Keep pulling it apart. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? So think about how that lengthens you out. You hear me talk opposite shoulder to opposite hip? That's exactly what it is. Lats, abs, and glutes all on the same page? That's exactly what this is. Is this core training, Coral?
Yes.
Core? Yeah, it's totally core training. All right, back up overhead. Good, rip and crush. Right, she's getting in there. And then you want the hips and the rib cage. And we talked about this one in that frontal plane when we did. Can you just go through that side to side motion? We did a lot of that stuff with the kettlebell and then coming back into some of the body weight positions. This is kind of another progression of that. Good, nice work. Magic number here is about 5 to each side. Again, you can make it your own. You know, maybe you've got your own Mace and you nicknamed it Excalibur. So when you have Excalibur, you really, it's that idea of flow again. What are some of these exercises that are going to wake up and establish your posture? You know, strength training doesn't have to be about necessarily breaking everything down. It can be about aligning and integrating you. That's really what the most ability, right? So how do you feel just right now?
I feel great.
Right?
I feel like I'm kind of opened up and
your torso is kind of on pace.
Yeah.
So now we want to sync that back to the lower body. Okay? So let's get you all the way on your feet. I'm gonna have you turn and face me this time.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna get your right leg out in front and you're gonna keep the globe on the left-hand side. Okay, start again from that rack position. Good. And this is that split stance. So what you're gonna do now is come all the way down to a lunge. Now press it over your head, stand all the way up with it over your head, and then pull it back down almost like you were doing a lat pull down. There you go, back down, press up and over your head, all the way back up. If you're feeling froggy, come back down again. You can add a little reach, right? Can you lean to the left? Can you lean to the right? That's up to you. Good, pull it back down, stand up, right? You can even make it easier by doing that. Standing up with it over your head is gonna be harder. So pull it back real quick. So do the lunge down, press it over your head, come back up. That's kind of the ideal version. If you need to make it now, pull it back down. Go, let's get just one more of those. Nice work. Awesome. So the stability component of that is really challenging, but it's a great way to build it up. Same thing on the other side. So now she's got the left leg out in front. The globe is going to switch over to the right. As you get better at this, you can get more in a tightrope, meaning your heel and your toes are in one line. Again, it's just a way that you can progress. Good. She's adding a little bit of reach up top. Hey man, flow your own way. It's also very normal to be a little bit more stable on one side versus the other. And her knee's not necessarily resting on the ground, but you want to get as low as you can in that position. Left knee driving forward, right knee driving back. Good. 2 more, Miss Coral. Nice work. All right, so to finish up this quick little flow, let's just drop you onto your knees here. Face me. And then you're gonna use this as the top. Okay, so get your right hand on top of there. All right, and then drop your butt back, kind of like you're doing a child's pose. Right, so now this lat is as long as possible. Doesn't that feel good? Now bring this left arm underneath towards me. Good, again, still pushing away and down. Now raise this left arm as high as you can. Good, when you do this, we're even gonna bring it behind your back this time. Then when you do there, can you use your shoulders to stack? So other things that swimming shoulders don't like to do. All right, thread the needle like that 2 more times. So back underneath. Good. All the way back up and behind. So specifically, I like this workout a lot before or after a swim or the day after a swim. This would kind of tie you back together, would help you feel good. So after a heavy swim or one of your longer swims would be butter. Okay, same
Super
game
butter.
on the other side. Reaching across, threading that needle. Eyes looking at that sucker. Go back up, hand coming behind. Press into that lower back. Set that right shoulder. Good. I like how you reach like that as well too. Good awareness, Miss Coral. Boom. Pretty fired up about that last man standing sup format.
That is bananas.
It is banana. Like, I have no idea what I could do. You know what I mean? Like it's weird to have the feeling of I just don't know.
I've been to the running version of
Yeah,
those, and it is massive.
it is very masochistic. All right, so quick little easy. Again, you felt like you warmed up your shoulders. We got that overhead.
Awesome.
We got your torso going. We kind of mobilized it all. Then we sunk it back together with the lunges. Awesome.
See?